Well, welcome to round 3 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. We're here in sunny and cloudy and cold and warm Goulburn, specifically at the Wakefield Circuit. Our practice day Friday, we're ready to kick off and have a chat to some of our leading competitors in both our championships and on the day. Mike Jones, we'll start with you as championship leader. Had a familiar tone about it today. At the last round, you were the guy to chase, and it feels a little bit Phillip Islandy with us, everybody chasing after Wayne Maxwell again.
Yeah, look, I suppose he's the most experienced rider around this circuit in terms of, his setup on the bike and whatnot. For myself, coming here, we were here a couple of weeks ago for a 2-day test, but majority of that was rained out. So we've had limited test time, especially for myself and the Yamaha team. But in saying that, my feeling with the bike is really quite good, and was able to get down to business pretty quickly. So we've worked away on a few different settings, changes throughout the day, and I've worked on my riding to improve the way that I ride the circuit, and we've been able to make progress in every session. So overall today I'm really stoked and very happy with how it's gone.
But with that gap, as I said, it's a reasonable gap for Maxwell this weekend. Hey, do you think you can close that gap? What do you need to be able to take it up to him in the races, or is there still plenty to happen before Sunday?
Yeah, I think that the gap is definitely manageable. I think that we'll close that gap down come race day. But ultimately, it's just this track requires a very specific way of riding the circuit, and just obviously putting each little part of it together is really crucial. It's such a short lap time around here, so to be able to get it right is really difficult. But I think that having a day's worth of practice and getting a lot of laps in has really helped me. And then I suppose having a night's rest and come back to the track tomorrow will. I feel like just in my riding, I'll find time just in that.
All right, we'll move on to our second place in the championship, Brian Starring. Brian, the Ducati for Wayne obviously going well and going quite well for you. One of the unusual things about today was there was almost no change to the end order for the top 3 for the whole day, but times did drop. How was it for you?
Yeah, not bad today. Look, I guess we ended up a little bit away from where we'd ideally be, but that's okay. I guess like Mike sort of suggested, really the 3 of us here are all on new motorbikes this year, and whilst everyone's done a lot of laps at this circuit, we haven't necessarily all done them on the motorbikes that we're currently on. Look, I think we're not in a bad position. We're relatively competitive. We do need to improve, but I guess as we've been showing all year, and I've been feeling that I've got the package around me to make sure I can poke my nose up there when the time comes, and hopefully that'll be the same way again.
We spoke at Queensland Raceway and you guys talked about how it was so hard to find any time there. It's all feeling impossible, but what's the difference sort of coming to a place like Wakefield? Do you feel there's some spots where you can improve, or is it all, again, really hard to grind out any tenths?
Well, like Mike sort of suggested, the finesse of getting the bike around here, especially the superbike, there's so much horsepower and it's such a tight little circuit. It couldn't be. It's exactly the opposite of Queensland Raceway. So, I guess the important thing's about keeping the bike tame and quiet, rather than just getting it out of a couple of corners and getting it bloody hard in on the brakes. So, really different circuits and completely different riding style. It's that's why it's a series. It's great that we have all these different aspects to it and different challenges, and you've got to be able to do it all.
Now, you improved every session except for the third. What happened there? You seemed to go a little bit backwards. Was there an issue that you explored something new that didn't work?
Well, I think you're talking about 1/10 of a second, maybe, Tom.
Oh, well, that's what it's going to come down to on the day, mate. But you found a lot between sessions 1 and 2, and then you found something in the 4th session.
Yeah,
was there something specific?
Really, we didn't get going in the first session. We had let's say a couple of small issues, and I couldn't really get going in the first one. But in the last one, we didn't take the step forward that we wanted to, but just some little barriers, and you can't improve the bike every time, and it's probably highlighted some areas where I really need to improve my riding first. So look, not to worry, Friday done here, but plenty more, 2 days to come.
Yeah, there is plenty to come. Third in the championship, Josh Waters. Today, pretty tough for you. Again, the first session not ideal. But again, you were someone able to bring down the times throughout the day. But, looking here, 6th on the day, but 3rd in the title, a little bit of room for you to improve and something to come out of that bike still?
Yeah, for sure. The test for me, like the boys said, the weather was terrible and I wasn't very fast. So today I went, I think, 1.6 seconds faster than I did when I was riding the other day. So hopefully, and exactly, I feel like I'm just saying what both the boys just said before me, but there's some places that we can make the bike better, but there's also some places where I really need to improve. So, go back, have a sleep, and hopefully come out and ride better tomorrow.
I know it's a couple of days to go, but when we were up in Queensland, everybody was saying, look, you've just got to be thereabouts in qualifying and see if we can, in this case, chase Mike around. Is it a similar feel for Wayne that you just want to be close enough that you can get on and get on, at least get on terms and have a chance at getting into him?
Yeah, I guess you kind of want to jump on board the train. So, yeah, it definitely helps if you could be with him the first, as we know, it's the first few laps. If you can break away and then get into that rhythm, it'd be great. But yeah, I'll just focus on what I need to do and hopefully improve and be there.
All right, we'll turn now to the leading competitor, one of our leading competitors in the Michelin Supersport, John Littress. John, Ollie Simpson, the titular leader in the championship, is over at RaceSafe after a crash, but you've had a pretty reasonable day, 2nd overall for the day ahead of the championship leader. But it seems like it's a funny old game, the Supersport Championship this year, because we've had leaders go overseas, we've had leaders disqualified, we've had one now overseas. You've been consistently in the championship, 2nd on the day. Can you see a way forward to the championship leadership after the weekend?
Yeah, well, it's a long championship. Like, there's a lot more rounds to go, a lot more races to go. But I think we can have a fair chance at it, and we just got to keep chipping away and taking one race at a time, I think. And yeah, we'll see where we end up.
Classic footy situation, but to be fair, Senna came and raced at round 1 and sort of ran as a bit of a spoiler. Now we've got Sean Condon here doing a one-off. He's obviously the fastest on the day. Are you worried about him, or are you thinking that long-term view about the championship? You're not too fast where Sean finishes, or do you need those extra points?
I think it'll be a good race, and I think I can we'll challenge for the race win if we can, and if we can't get the race win, I will try not to throw it away trying to beat a guy that's not in the championship. But I think if we can, I definitely will try.
Early on, you've been a little bit all over the shop in terms of your not your performances, but your end results have been quite good. But have you struggled in the early practice sessions? Like today, you've been on it, but previously those early sessions you were fast the last round and then a little bit lost at Phillip Island and back and forth. Has that been a set-up thing, or is it all in your head, not your hands?
Yeah, well, last round we had a pretty strong round the whole way through, but at Phillip Island we had some bike issues and some struggles that were kind of out of our control a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think today we, just kept chipping away a little bit and seeing, getting the bike better. And yeah, it should be good.
Well, we've talked about, looking at the championship, it's, the points situation and with Ollie Simpson in unknown condition, and that aside, he was 5th today. Who do you see as the main championship contenders now alongside you? Because I think the media here are struggling to pick it at the moment. You're clearly one of them, but who else do you rate and are you going to keep an eye on?
I don't know, to be honest. It's kind of a top, 5-horse race really for the championship. It's really hard to tell,
Let's have a quick look at your times today. You found improvements in every session. Is there more to come?
I think so. I was on some good times in that last session at the end, and we got red flagged, and I think I had some good rhythm, and I think we could have kept going forward, but we ended up where we were, and it was pretty decent.
So only 3 hundredths of a second between you and Sean Condon, so it'll be interesting to see as we come into qualifying tomorrow. I'm going to throw it open to the media. I'm not sure that anyone's got a Friday question. Anybody got a Friday question? All a bit quiet here. No, Trev? I've asked all the questions that Trev wanted to have asked. We'll keep it short. We'll keep it shorter on that note. Gentlemen, thank you all for coming in today. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to tomorrow's qualifying session for both the Alpine Stars Superbike and the Michelin Supersport. But from here at sunny, cold, occasionally cloudy Wakefield, we'll join you again tomorrow at the similar sort of time for round 3 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul.